Hey guys, well, welcome back to the Jake for the State podcast. And of course, by now, I think about everybody in the universe knows about Turning Point USA. And Charlie Kirk started this organization. It became well known on college campuses as he went to table and engage with students there on campus and even teachers. Of course, that's also where his life ended, but it's not where Turning Point USA ended. Turning Point USA exploded. And now it is on even more college campuses, in also high schools. Something that not a lot of people may know is how well how this has spread into high schools all across the nation. And right here in Oklahoma, we have a young man that he has recently started a chapter in his high school, and I wanted to bring him before you so you can get to know him. So stay tuned. We're going to come to him in just a second.
This is the Jake for the State podcast, and this is the call for every red-blooded, God-fearing, liberty-loving patriot to prepare yourself, take your position,
stand your ground,
and advance the cause of freedom. Let's go.
All right, let's go. And I'm here with Mr. Jake Baugh. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, you are, looks like, on your way to school.
Yes, sir, I am.
Off to make a difference in the MAGA hat. So,
yeah.
Thank you for your time this morning. We'll try to pack in as much as we can before you have to go, and just let me know when you have to leave.
Yes, sir.
I want to make you late this morning, but we of course were at a couple of events together, and was able to hear from you as far as what you're working on. Here's a little screenshot for people to. Let me get my act together here. I don't want that. Remove that so they can see your picture. There you go. Okay, this was us at an event recently, and you came and spoke, and I tell you what, the reception there was only positive. What I saw, Jake, is that the adults in the room were very inspired by you. They were very encouraged that there was someone under 50 in the room, for one thing, because I can say from firsthand experience, you go to a lot of these political meetings, and most of the time it's 50 and over, and it's rare to find someone in their 30s, let alone, how old are you?
I'm 15.
15, man. And you did a great job presenting we were at two different events where you presented, and you did a great job both places. And you were talking about what you're doing in your high school, where you're going this morning to school. Tell me about this, about Turning Point USA, what it means to you, and how this led to you starting a chapter at your high school.
Yes, sir. Charlie Kirk had a big impact for sure on my life. He taught me all the things I know now. I started Turning Point USA because I felt like us conservative students needed a place where free speech still stands in our schools, even though, in your schools you don't have much people that agrees with conservative values. So I wanted to create a Turning Point USA group that can lead students in the way that they believe, and they don't get, ashamed or bullied for what they believe in just because other people try to lead you in a different way than what you believe in. Turning Point USA means a lot to me. It just really means having a voice when other people, can't stand up for what they believe in. So, I stood up and yeah.
Where do you go to high school, Jake?
I go to Drumright High School.
Drumright. How many kids are in Drumright? What's the population?
Maybe 150. It's not a big school.
Okay. Now you said oftentimes in schools you don't have a conservative perspective with the peers. Is that the case with Drum Right? I mean, how has been the reception as you brought Turning Point to Drum Right? How have your peers responded?
Yeah, well, when I first tried to start my Turning Point USA chapter at my high school, there was some teachers that for sure didn't agree with it. They tried to have me go up with the school board and stuff. But I mean, it's really been mixed feelings with a lot of people about this. Some was supportive. Some teachers weren't. It's just kind of mixed
Okay.
feelings about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, how about you? Were you raised in a conservative family? How did you get to be so passionate about these conservative ideas?
Oh, 100%. My whole family is conservative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this something that you talk about around the kitchen table and on your way to school? I mean, what's the conversations like in your home around some of these ideas that you're bringing to your peers now?
Uh, we, I mean, yeah, we talk about a lot of conservative stuff. We talk a lot about God and Jesus and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where it all starts, right?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm the same way. It's you have these politically conservative ideas, but it really is all rooted in faith and an understanding that there is a God and objective truth. That's what Charlie Kirk really talked about.
Hmm.
I don't know about you, but I loved the fact that he didn't shy away from talking about Jesus. He
Yeah.
talked about conservative fiscal policy with money and taxes, but then
Hmm.
he brought it back around to Jesus and the foundation of God's word.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that your family has done it right, obviously, raising a leader. So, really appreciate your example out there in Drum Right. Now, you went to a couple events where I was at,
Hmm.
and I'm out campaigning for a governor's race, and there's other candidates there, and you're there right in the mix, and it's pretty
Yeah.
bold. And tell you what, the adults in the room are very encouraged by that. But why are you showing up at these events? What is it that you're wanting to bring to some of these candidate forums and events where people are gathered to talk about what's happening in the politics?
Well, I really think our youth, like our future generations need to be involved a lot in politics because
Yeah,
our youth someday is going to come up and you're going to have leaders that's going to have to step up and do what's right. And I just want to get my word across with that's what I'm trying to do is step up and be a leader for my generation and just get my Turning Point USA group more known and
that's
stuff
good.
like.
That's good. Yeah, Jake, what would you say to someone who may say, "That's awesome. I would love to do something like that, but I'm just too nervous."
Oh, I tell them just show up to a meeting. Just show up to one meeting, see how you like it. We involve everyone. Everyone is involved. I mean, any student, if you just show up, I'll make sure you're involved.
That's,
Everyone will be involved.
yeah, I love it.
Yes, sir.
What people find, hey, there's even adults that are nervous about showing up at a political meeting. Like, how do I get involved? Actually, it's not that hard. You really just show up. you know,
Yeah.
and you're there, and guess what? There's people who care about you and care about the good of our culture and society. And so, what I found is the same thing. People just surround you. They want you to succeed. That's one
Yeah.
thing I saw about you, Jake, when you showed up. Everybody in the room wanted you to succeed, and they want you
Yeah.
to succeed in your school. Did you feel that too?
Oh, I felt that 100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, we are in desperate need of men like you. I'll go and call you man because I believe that you are. And, we need men like you standing up, being examples, being a voice, being bold. And hey, I just really appreciate the stance you're taking. Oh man, I like that button right there.
Oh, yeah. I wore it every single day since I've got it.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you, man. Uh,
Yes, sir.
appreciate the support. Well, you're off to school today. When is your next event at the school, your meeting? How often do you have them?
So we usually do it every 2 weeks, but since we have basketball, football playoffs, stuff like that, we're gonna do our next one December 8th.
December 8th. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you shoot for like once a month or something like that?
Well, we try to shoot for every other 2 weeks, but
Okay.
I think that's what we're gonna start doing since sports and stuff is every other month.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's good. Well, hey, God bless you, Jake, as you continue to be an example there at Drumright and beyond. You're really uh, a growing voice for your generation across the state of Oklahoma. And I appreciate your boldness and your courage to do that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You bet, brother. You have a good day.
Hey, you too. Hey, vote Jake Merrick for governor.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
Have a
thank
good
you.
one. You
You
bet.
too.
Man, what a great guy. And like him even more now. So I didn't realize he was such a strong supporter, but there you go. Tell you this turning point, of course, has exploded. And let's see, I just did a quick search here, and it says about 55 high school chapters have started since Charlie Kirk's assassination. And let's see, there was actually over 62,000 total inquiries for high school and college chapters. 62,000 inquiries. And so, hey, while the inquiries are high, we actually need follow through, and we need those who are wanting to take that initiative and start the chapter. And I assume that if the inquiry has been placed, there is a sincere desire to see that started at their high school. Like you said, even in Drumright, there was a little bit of pushback, but persistence pays off, determination pays off, and I love to see that established there. And if it's true, if this report is true, that there's about 55 high school chapters that have started, that's nationwide, and one of those is right here in Drumright, Oklahoma. So that is awesome. Let's see. It says Oklahoma announced plans on September 23rd to establish chapters in all 495 public high schools, with 3 to 7 new chapters forming daily. So it says by late October, this resulted in roughly 50 new chapters. So I guess those 55 high school chapters, let me just correct myself, I guess that is in Oklahoma. And that's great. That is great. 55 new high school chapters in Oklahoma. And it says that there's also states like Florida and Texas where this has just been accelerated. And so, of course, we would expect that in some of these other conservative states where kids are being raised by solid conservative families. And, we then can expect that their kids are going to start stepping up. And wow, this is how you change a culture. And this is how you change a state. It happens in the home, and children are raised. They're being taught, they're being formed, they're being shaped, they're being poured into. Kids don't just spontaneously come out, with faith and with fundamental core beliefs concerning objective truth and conservatism. And so they're taught these things. Kids are taught. We intentionally pour into our kids. Just the other night, it was 2 nights ago, I called my daughter in. She jumped on the bed with my wife and I before bed, and we spent 30 minutes in prayer. And we do this routinely. It doesn't happen every day, but we do it, I would say, at least weekly, where we get everybody together and we get in God's word, we get in prayer, and we hear from each other. We hear about concerns and secret things God is showing each of us. And I mean, then we talk about how that applies to our culture and how we want to change the world. And we have these kind of conversations and times with our kids. This is how the next generation is shaped. And, it's obvious when I see someone like Jake Baugh that his parents have been doing that. These kinds of kids stand out. They are natural leaders. They have conviction. They have principle. And that's what we need more of, 100%. So I'm excited to see what's happening in Turning Point, all across the nation, but I'm probably most excited about seeing it in high schools, at this early age. I tell you what, I'm going to see if I can pull in this clip here where you can get a little feel for what Jake brought the other night. The energy in the crowd was just heightened whenever he stepped up and started speaking. Let me see. I think this is the right.
He may be gone, but what he started lives on us. Every meeting we hold, every student who joins, we hold meetings, and every conversation we have is about freedom. Because freedom is a part of his legacy. He showed us that no one is too young to make a difference, and no one is too small to make an impact. So as we remember Charlie Kirk 2 months later, let us also continue what he begun. Let us build stronger chapters, bring more people into the movement, and carry on the torch that he passed to us. We will keep spreading the message of Turning Point USA, and we will keep standing for faith and freedom. And we will keep providing that even in small towns like Jeremiah, Oklahoma, the spirit of freedom is alive and strong. Thank you for having me.
Well, that was at a meeting in Sapulpa. I was there, another governor candidate was there, and then Jake was there. And he brought a short speech just talking about what Turning Point means to him and why he started it in his school. And so far, like I said, I was at a couple of meetings where Jake was there and presented just a short presentation, but there was such encouragement in the room from the older crowd saying there's hope. There's hope when you see a 15-year-old step up and take the opportunity to speak truth. And, I tell you what, we need more Jakes. Yeah, we need more Jakes. And, I'm just encouraged by this. I hope you are as well. I wanted to bring him on to encourage him, but also to encourage you. It goes both ways. But quick update on what's happening with me and my campaign. I am going to be running over to Bartlesville. Well, first I'll be at the state capitol tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And so if you want to join me over there, I don't really know what all to expect. I was invited to come and speak on the Butler case, the case out in Stillwater with the man. We have to start calling him men. If you caught, I referred to Jake, 15-year-old Jake, as a man, young man, but we need to remind them and remind ourselves that they're not children. We need to help them step into this role of leadership. And you have men like Butler out in Stillwater. And I just hate that this happened. I mean, I understand young men, especially in this pornography-saturated day, hypersexualized, largely unregulated, both by self-discipline and even by the family. It's resulting in a danger zone for young women. Obviously, it's when you have young men who cannot control their lust, their appetites, and they become abusive. So we're seeing this happen in Stillwater, Oklahoma with this Butler case, and obviously raping multiple women and giving, while he initially got, I believe, 80 years, now it was downgraded as a youthful offender and I believe 100 hours of community service and mandated counseling. How do you go from 80 years to that? These young women will be traumatized and impacted by that for the rest of their lives, yet he gets to walk away. There's not justice. And so I was invited to speak on this at an event tomorrow at the Capitol, 10 a.m. Hope to see you there. If you can't make it, it may be live streamed as well, so you can check back here and see. But I'll be doing that in the morning, then running over to Bartlesville. I have a town hall at 5 p.m. in Bartlesville. So then we're going to leave from that town hall to drive to Woodward So across the other side of the state, where I'm going to be meeting with a pastor out there, speaking to a church. And then on Monday, the next day, I will be in Guyman. And, great gathering in Guyman, strong support out there in the panhandle of Oklahoma. And then I'm going to be coming back here on Tuesday, the 18th for the candidate forum. So you don't want to miss that. That'll be a nice candidate forum hosted by OK2A at Higher Plains Baptist Church. So that'll be a good one. All right. That's the rundown of what's happening with me. I wanted to keep this one pretty brief, really just talking about what's happening with high schools here in Oklahoma and the rise of Turning Point USA. Really a voice for truth. And we need this so much more in the day we're in. I know there's comments that are coming in from critics that, it's just typical of the day we live in, where there's a lack of faith. There's an obsession with self. There's an obsession with pleasure. There's an obsession with the temporary. But where is the objective truth? Where is the basis on which you live your life, that you base your morals, your decisions on? These are the questions we have to ask at a deeper level. It's always said that politics is downstream from culture, and I truly believe that to see true change in our politics, we have to take a step back and invest in our culture. That's what Charlie Kirk did so well. That's what he did on college campuses, and that's what we're seeing now after his assassination, is people picking up the baton and saying they will advance the truth, because there is a truth and it must be advanced. There's lots of things I'm talking about in my campaign. I'll get to those on another podcast. I'm going to sign off for this one, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Jake for the State podcast. Help me get the word out there and share this, because this is an important message to share. God bless you guys, and I will see you next time.